So, Gojo versus Makima. This is a fight that has been widely debated for quite a while. I believe both manga are still ongoing, but I might accidentally spoil a few things here and there, but just keep in mind I have not actually read either manga. Just be aware of that. Most of the information I'm getting is secondhand. I have watched both anime. Like I have completely watched Chainsaw Man, and I'm currently keeping up with Jujutsu Kaisen. If you want to see my reactions to season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, as well as some of my reactions to Chainsaw Man season 1, both of those, reaction series are on my channel if you want to go check them out. I'm just doing this because I feel like I can throw my 2 cents into this argument of who would win between Gojo and Makima. Now, this has been a highly debated battle for years, as I've said before, and it's very easy to see why. Basically, it's not even really a battle of stats here, though I will go into just a bit of stats. It's really only a matter of, Hack's abilities and how you interpret a lot of it. So, yeah, might as well start with them. But anyway, Gojo versus Makima, the two characters have very little in common. I mean, you can make like a full paragraph of comparisons, like you can make to like justify like putting these two up against each other in a fight. But you can do that with just about any character. I've seen someone do that for Darth Vader and Saber from Fate. Two very different characters, and yeah, anyway, there's little to no connection between these two other than they're I don't want to say mentor characters for these new shonen series, because Makima's not exactly a mentor character, though she did like find Denji. She's the one who took him in and like, kinda helped show him the ropes of what devil hunters do in their own society, in their own world. And then Gojo straight up is the mentor character of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just, yeah, other than that, there's not really a whole lot to go on here, other than they're both extremely powerful in their own worlds. So, might as well I'll start with Gojo and what he can do, as well as, what he means to the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. So, Satoru Gojo, when he was born, it's said that his birth literally upended the entirety of Jujutsu society. Now, whether this is metaphorical or literal is up to interpretation. I'm gonna say metaphorical. Simply, like, nobody knew, like, his true potential until, like, he started growing up and started displaying a whole lot of innate abilities. But yeah, there's a reason why, the entirety, like, the cursed spirits in Jujutsu Kaisen, a lot of them just kind of, like, sulked into the shadows around the time, like, season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen started, and that's because of Gojo's very existence. The dude is just that powerful that he scared a whole lot of people into hiding. People and cursed spirits, I should say. And that's the kind of thing. He just imposes a kind of aura, even just subconsciously, and just, not even just his aura, just his reputation of being the strongest. He is, throughout heaven and earth, he alone is the honored one. His words, not mine. And it's very easy to see why. I might as well just go into stats a bit. I'm not even going to try to attempt power output. It's not exactly, like, very clear. Like, I know he can, like, scale to a few characters. In fact, the only, like, the highest speed stat I can give him is through scaling him to another character who could dodge lightning. And it's very clear that it is natural lightning. So, yeah, that's hypersonic speeds, I think. I'm not sure, like, I'm not well versed on that kind of thing. I just kind of go, like, by comparison, like, speed of light, speed of lightning. Like, he's probably got, reaction speed, lightning reaction speed, I should say. I know there's, like, some statement where, like, someone who, like, this is the top thing, and it's only, like, Mach 4 or something like that, but this has been, like, disproven by this literal same character, like, being able to react to a bullet, like, while they're right in front of them. And so that's definitely higher than Mach 4. But anyway, yeah, I think we can top Gojo off at lightning reaction speeds at the very least, because he very clearly scales above everyone else in Jujutsu Society, at least in terms of, curse users. Like, just everyone else he's worked with or works with, I should say. Um, yeah. So that's pretty much all the only stat I'm going to be able to give for Gojo, simply because I'm not well versed in everything else. But yeah, I think we can start with like his abilities and his main ability. Well, I'll get to the main abilities later. We'll go overall skill and just some of the basic stuff. He's very good in hand-to-hand combat. Like, he's an expert in it. He could go toe-to-toe with, like, special grade cursed spirits, and even against Sukuna himself, who is very good at the whole hand-to-hand combat shtick. And yeah, he's also incredibly strong. Like I said, he's got the power to back up, like, his hand-to-hand combat. So yeah, then, like, he's immensely fast. We've already gone over, like, the reaction stats, though I do think it's worth mentioning that in the time it took for him to punch Jogo into a lake and Jogo to climb back up to the surface, Gojo just comes back holding Itadori in his arms, and Gojo was recently in a car to go get Itadori, and he could have just sped over there and got back in the time it takes for me to for me to take a piss. Like, that's the kind of speed, like, just travel speed Gojo can have. So yeah, he's incredibly fast. He's also got a lot of endurance. Like, he literally took a sword straight through the back and through the chest, and was able to keep on going with, barely even phased. Though that is probably because he used a bit of his technique to, like, rearrange some of his organs, though I can't remember the exact explanation, but it was in the beginning of, like, season 2, if you want to go watch that and check that out. But yeah, he's also incredibly smart. He's capable of figuring out an opponent's plan with minimal information. He's very adaptable, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, now we can get to, like, basically his whole gimmick, the thing that makes him the strongest, and that's his, cursed energy, and, like, and what he uses that for. He's got a lot of it, and he's one of the only people who can just restore that cursed energy, if I remember correctly. But anyway, his main technique is called, this is the thing you guys are all waiting for, it took us 8 minutes to get here, but his main technique is Limitless. It's the innate technique in the Gojo family. The Gojo clan all have Limitless, though he's very special. It basically grants users a nigh absolute control over space, and okay, so it's kind of like a bit of an aura around his body. Okay, wait. That's infinity. Limitless is just the overall usage of it. Just how he can. Like I said, it's very hard to explain. Like, I'm trying to simplify this as much as I possibly can, and that's really hard to do. But yeah, Limitless, basically control over space, but the main way he uses this is infinity, where imagine if you will, as an example, like, if you're on one end of the room and you're looking at the other end of the room, basically, and you're on one wall, you're looking at the other wall, and you constantly make your way towards the wall, but you keep having to half the distance. So, it looks as though you are getting closer, but you will never reach him. That's how infinity works. It's how you keep the closer you get to him, the slower you go, and you'll never be able to touch him. You'll get close, but you'll never be able to get that. There are ways around this, though. It usually just involves using something that cancels out curse techniques, or using a domain expansion, which basically guarantees a hit no matter what, so basically making infinity useless. But yeah, that's the main thing. You just can't hit him. He just stops attacks from ever hitting him. So yeah, then there's the other things he can do with Limitless are um Curse Technique Lapse Blue and Curse Technique Reversal Red. Blue, attracts things in. It's almost I don't want like a vacuum. It's not a black hole, but a vacuum. Basically can, you get what I mean, right? There's just attracts things into it, and yeah, that's pretty much all I can I'm reading the wiki here. Gojo creates a scenario where the world itself is forced to correct itself and fill in the negative space caused by Curse Technique Blue. So yeah, then there's Curse Technique Red is the opposite. It's the closest thing we have to like a regular energy blast. Just literally create like gravity pulls in on itself and then blasts the opponent away. It's a very powerful thing. He got the hang of it. However, there's something only he can do. He managed to do, and that's combine Curse Technique Blue and Reverse Curse Technique Red. He combined them together and created Hollow Technique Purple, which just completely atomizes and everything it comes into contact with. It's yeah. Just think of it like Yami from Black Clover, who could death thrust, and it just erases everything that it touches that at an atomic level. And I don't think I need to go into detail on why that's just overpowered. Basically, once you think you know Gojo's limits and what he can do, he eventually just shows off an ability to do that just blows you away even more. So yeah, then there's his own domain expansion, where he can basically domain expansion of itself basically creates like a pocket dimension to trap him and anyone around him, and basically any hit that he tries to make in this dimension is guaranteed. It's always a guaranteed hit, and this is subject to every domain expansion, no matter what. If you create a domain expansion, you would get a guaranteed hit on the opponent. His, on the other hand, is very special. Basically, he creates a space where the victim receives all of the information in the universe. And that's very vague, I know, but basically the enemy is just kind of frozen still while their mind is processing literally everything that ever is and ever will be and ever was. So yeah, he's very good at the skill. He can it says here, Satoru's skill with his domain expansion is so great that he can precisely control the range and time of its activation for only 0.2 seconds, limiting the lasting effect on those he traps within it, because sometimes citizens get caught in the crossfire, and that's what he does. So, and he personally does not like killing innocent people, so that's what he tries to do. And here's the thing, if you have if you're powerful enough, you can resist it. Though by resist it, I mean you won't automatically go brain dead by processing that much information in that amount of time. So yeah, but by that point, you're just kind of frozen there trying to process everything, and then in that time, Gojo will rip your head off like he does with Jogo. But yeah, then there's the ability that he has. It's a special ability, not really connected to Limitless or the techniques it provides. The Six Eyes. Now this is something special because not all of the details on the Six Eyes are out at this point in time, I believe. But it's an innate technique where, Gojo has once said, "I have very special eyes," and he's not joking. The Six Eyes, from what I could tell, are kind of they're the Jujutsu Kaisen equivalent of the Sharingan from Naruto. And it's not exactly the same. They can't cast illusions or anything, but They have immense perception and visual prowess far beyond that of any other sorcerer. Do not mock Gojo clan prowess, as Madara might say. But yeah, they have very enhanced perception of everything around them and can sense literally anybody, no matter how skilled they are. Like Toji Fushiguro, the guy known as the sorcerer killer. You always got to have that one. You got to always have that kind of character, someone who specializes and goes around killing, the main group in the story. This was Toji Fushiguro, who's just built different. The dude was just built different, and at no point has anyone ever sensed it when he was behind them, except for Gojo. Now, there is a way like this can be avoided, and is that if the user is wear down over time, but in the case of Gojo, this usually takes a few days, but to wear him down. But anyway, yeah, the Six Eyes can perceive how curse techniques work. They much like how the Sharingan does, and yeah, it can see the flow of cursed energy, empowering their bearer with the ability to read the individual's cursed technique in use and determine its function. They can even differentiate between different types of cursed energy, and it helps the user identify a person based on it. I literally had to open an entirely different Wikipedia page just to kind of understand how the Six Eyes works, and how I can just, quickly, determine how this, kind of hand this off to you guys in a time frame where, hey, I don't have to try to do this all from memory. Because, oh my, trying to do this all from memory would have been hell. But yeah, the user cannot deactivate this ability, though they can limit it. Like I said, they can get weared down, but they can also cover their eyes, which is why Gojo is usually blindfolded or whatever whenever you see him most of the time. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I can say about the Six Eyes, though they are going to be very useful in the fight. And now that we've gotten done with Gojo, let's talk about Makima. Now, I'm going to immediately spoil Chainsaw Man for you guys, so yeah, fair warning, though I don't know why you clicked on this video and didn't expect spoilers, so might as well get into it right now. Makima is also known as the Control Devil, the fear of control or the fear of conquest. So, she's one of the strongest individuals in the world of Chainsaw Man, and pretty much every nation in the world, except for the United States, because of course, has given up trying to fight her, because she's that overpowered and has that much control. Now, Makima's control ability, she mostly uses this to have humans make contracts with her. And this is very important, because this doesn't just apply to humans. This also applies to devils and fiends. Fiends, which are devils who have taken a human body. So yeah, but probably the most notable contract she made was with the Prime Minister of Japan, where in exchange for working with the government, all fatal attacks applied to Makima are just transferred over to a random citizen of Japan in one form or another. Now, this isn't like, oh, it immediately transfers the wound, but it still has the intended effect of killing the person, the fatal wound transfers over to. So, yeah, so there is a way around this, from what I can tell, but it's not going to be applicable in this fight, and that's because Denji literally ate her body, and he viewed this as an act of love, and so it wasn't perceived as an attack, so it wasn't technically an attack, and so she died from it, permanently. Though she was reincarnated, but that doesn't matter. Reincarnation is not the same thing as, coming back to life. So, or at least not technically in this kind of sense. So, yeah. Now, for her physical abilities, I think in speed, we can put her reaction speed, I don't know, like, maybe, like, supersonic speeds, probably. Probably not as much as, like, Gojo's lightning speed, but still very fast. She can keep up with the Gun Devil, who literally killed millions of people in just under a few minutes throughout the entire world. So I think we can scale Makima somewhere in there. And she's also got it. She's pretty good at hand-to-hand combat, and she possesses her own bit of, very strong. She's also very strong. She's able to shatter, chainsaws with her strikes. And then there's a bit of an interesting thing is that she's got enhanced smell, and because she literally cannot differentiate humans, she cannot differentiate humans through sight, but she can through smell, and much similar to how we cannot differentiate between dogs by their faces, that kind of thing. But yeah, okay. So here's the thing that always gets in the way of the Gojo versus Makima debate, but we'll get there when we get there, and that's her domination ability, her main way of controlling people. And Makima embodies the fear of control, and so the ability reflects this. She is able to control anyone she perceives as below her. Anyone she believes is inferior to her. Keep that in mind, anyone who she believes is inferior to her. This can be circumvented if she doesn't know if she's inferior to you or not. So through this, she's like, okay, I need to find this out. I'm going to challenge them to a fight and see what happens. And considering how powerful she is, this probably shouldn't take too long. But yeah. And through this control ability, she has made contracts with a whole lot of people, with a whole lot of devils, and a few of them are like the Angel Devil, who can suck out lifespans, the Future Devil, who can see bits and pieces of the future. Considering who the Future Devil is contracted with at the time, I'm gonna guess it's more of a precognition ability rather than straight up seeing into the future, that far into the future. The Snake Devil, which can eat other devils and use their abilities as well, like when the snake, the woman who made a contract with the Snake Devil was able to eat the Ghost Devil and control the Ghost Devil through that. The Punishment Devil, we don't know what this Punishment Devil does really. The Spider Devil, I mean, it's a Spider Devil. We don't know too much about what the Spider Devil does either, but I think it should be self-explanatory what a Spider Devil might be capable of. Then there's the Zombie Devil, who can just create zombies, and those zombies, if a zombie bites you, you turn into a zombie. It's that kind of thing. She can also, and control is, like I said, control is not limited to humans. It can also be devils and fiends, like I've already said. It can also be applied to animals. She can borrow the hearing of rats, birds, just any animal, and she can, hear conversations through them. And so, luckily, it's not through sight. She cannot, she cannot borrow their sight. So this can be counteracted if you're writing down notes and passing them to each other, and instead of vocally speaking to someone. And then it's labeled as force manipulation, though I'm not sure how exactly this works. So I'm gonna guess it kind of acts as a ball of compressed air shoots from her fingers, though I'm not sure if that's the case. Whether it bypasses durability, or if it works Lille borrows the X-axis from Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, or if it's literally just compressed air which she shoots out at someone. I'm gonna guess it's the former, but who knows how. I don't know exactly how this works, but it is still very powerful, and she can use this to... It basically insta-kills any regular human or any regular fiend. It basically blew Power's body to pieces when she used it on her, And when she fought against the Chainsaw Devil, maybe Denji, I think Denji himself, she literally, shot him like so many times that he gets shot into space. Like, literally got shot into the atmosphere. So, yeah, there's a lot of force behind this. Yeah, and she also used this ability to severely injure the Darkness Devil. Let me put it this way, there are things called Primal Devils, and the Darkness Devil is one of them, the fear of the dark. Which is a long-lived fear. So the fact that she's able to severely injure that thing, she didn't. Now keep in mind, she did not beat it, though she did severely injure it, and that is very impressive in and of itself. So yeah. Now for the crux of this fight, and that is Gojo versus Makima itself and how it would go down. So, how would this work? How would this start out? Now, here's how I think the battle will go, and I will, show you why I would think that it goes down this way. So, Makima hears about Satoru Gojo. Through whatever means, I don't know. She just hears about him and how he throughout heaven and earth, he alone is the honored one. And she's like, okay, I don't know this guy. All I know is that he's very powerful. I need to go see him. So she goes to, check out, at least perform reconnaissance on how powerful he is, like personally, just in case she needs to fight him. And so I imagine it's like one of the most recent episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, where in a flashback where Gojo was, literally hadn't even hit puberty yet, 2 assassins were sent to take him out. And they were both in 2 separate buildings, and Gojo all of a sudden stopped and looked at them because he could sense them through the 6 eyes. And the aura that he possessed alone sent these 2 assassins just in panic attacks. Now, Makima would not, experience the same exact thing, but but Gojo would easily sense her because she's a very powerful character. She's powerful in her own right, and so Gojo would just turn, look at her, and she would freeze because, she would get the same sensation that the 2 assassins got, but she wouldn't experience a panic attack. She's like, oh, he's the real deal, and a fight would begin. Gojo would probably they exchange a few banter. I think the banter would be pretty funny, but just because Gojo is Gojo and Makima is Makima, so now we get the fight, and I think it's gonna kind of go like this. Gojo just outstats her in just skill level and speed. I think he's pretty easily got speed, but in terms of skill, it's stated that Makima's really good at hand-to-hand, but Gojo is Gojo, so he's probably just gonna be better, and I don't think it's gonna be long before he gets her, maybe he, punches her in the chest, literally, destroys her heart in the process, a la, Fate Zero, if you've seen that anime. But then, all of a sudden, he's like, alright, that was easy, starts to walk away, but then Makima, bang, and, he feels it, hit his Limitless. He feels it hit infinity. He's not gonna, if the force manipulation works the way I think it does, it's just gonna hit infinity and not hit, but Gojo will, oh, well, this is interesting. And so the fight continues, and she keeps using more and more devil abilities, and it's becoming increasingly clear that that Gojo's getting nowhere, and neither is Makima. Makima literally cannot hit him, and any attack that Gojo seems to throw at her, whether it be Curse Technique Red, or maybe even Curse Technique Blue, she just keeps getting back up, and it's going to be a very, very interesting fight to see, just how they start adapting to each other, because they're both incredibly intelligent, and Makima's going to try to find a way to get around this infinity technique, but Gojo, I feel, would probably have this idea first. He, through the 6 eyes, he's going to see that, every time I employ a fatal attack, some energy comes from somewhere else and instantly restores her back to a non-injured state. And so he's like, okay, very well. Hollow technique, purple. and would probably just... Would it erase... Now, I'm not sure if... That's the thing about the contract Makima made with the Prime Minister of Japan, is that would this kill Makima? This is the real question here. And this is how I think the fight would go. Like, Hollow Purple, if he hits her with it dead on, like, it completely encompasses her, she's dead to rights, that's it. It's over. She has been vaporized at an atomic level. I don't think there's coming back from that. So, ultimately, I would give it to Gojo. This is how I would... That's my, explanation on how the fight would go down. But how Gojo wins is another situation entirely. Is because we don't know how Makima's contract with the Prime Minister, how far that can go. Like, would it still bring her back? Because it doesn't matter how many times she dies, she's just gonna keep coming back because, all of the population of Japan operates as her extra lives. So, but it's never been shown to, like, heal her in the same way, like, something like Perfect Cell would heal. Like, just regeneration, that kind of thing. Like, if she got a limb blown off by Hollow Purple, like, if Hollow Purple didn't hit properly the first time and just blew half of her body off, would that, like, instantly regenerate? Or what? Because it's not exactly a fatal attack, but if she chooses to make it a fatal attack, but if she gets hit with a fatal attack after that, would it regenerate? We never got to see that kind of thing in Chainsaw Man, at least as far as I'm aware, because I've done a lot of research into this, and I haven't seen that. So, but through her fight with Denji, through the panels I've seen, where she fights Denji, every time, like, he cut off, like, her head, for instance, it would transfer over to someone from Japan, and the head would reattach. Now, this, I feel, isn't very important because it implies that some part of Makima still needs to be there in order for her to, regenerate and come back from the dead. This, I feel, is the way Gojo wins, because Hollow Purple would completely atomize her. There's nothing left to come back from that, and it's up to reincarnation at that point. So, yeah, sorry. But, yeah, that's the way I see it going down. I'm putting all my money on Gojo because he's Satoru Gojo. That's kind of the explanation for a lot of things that happened in Jujutsu Kaisen. Wait, how did he do that? Because he's Satoru Gojo. And yeah, Gojo wins this because he's Satoru Gojo. I feel like that's pretty much all the explanation you need for this. Though, like, Makima's not going to go down without a fight, but it is still a relatively straightforward fight in my eyes, where Gojo, like, and Makima would get into a bit of a tussle. Gojo realizes, oh, I'm not getting anywhere here. So he uses Hollow Purple and just completely encompasses her, completely vaporizes her, and that's it. That's how I view it. And even if it didn't work like that, Gojo is very much capable of killing the entire population of Japan. It literally was a statement, and I believe the most recent episode of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, where Mei stated that if Gojo really wanted to, he could kill everyone in Japan. And what do you know? That applies perfectly to this fight. And it's even implied earlier in Season 2 that if Gojo wanted to kill everyone in the world, it's implied he could do it. He could very much do it. If he really wanted to, he could probably pull it off. So I do think that even if Hollow Purple wasn't a surefire win, he could probably pull it off. It would take quite a while, but he could pull it off. So, yeah, that's really all I can say on that. But yeah, hopefully that I provided a fair explanation for that. Like, this is not hopefully this didn't become a respect thread. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This has been really, really, really fun to, discuss. But if you have your own, little theories about how this fight would go down, or if I got something wrong. I probably did get something wrong. You can leave it in a comment below, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I've got nothing else to say, so I'm just gonna end the video here. So yeah, till next time, guys, see ya.